India, are they the real bee's knees for the T20 World Cup later this year in Australia? After beating New Zealand 5-0, let's find out on Hoggs Vlog. Well, India are starting to look dominant. Yes, their spin department is strong, but their pace department is coming into that World Cup with a lot of depth. Deepak Chahal, Bhuvi are out injured. Boomer is just coming back in. He's finding his form. But under pressure when they were defending, it was Shami in the third game that stood up. So, excellent depth there. But the thing I liked was in games 4 and 5 when New Zealand had experienced batsmen out the crease and Tucker and Sani were brought onto the attack to defend the total, and they did it well. So India, going to that World Cup, their bowling department is strong. If you're going to win games, your bowlers have got to defend totals, or if they're bowling first, they've got to keep the run rate down. So your defensive game is looking good, India. Now we'll look at the batting. Oh, could there be a little bit of a change in the order now moving to that World Cup with Rohit Sharma batting out 3 in that final game and doing well. He looked like he was in full command. Sanju Samson opened the batting with Rahul. The way that Rahul is absolutely dominating, you can afford to have a youngster up top. It might be Prithvi Shaw to have another opportunity leading into that World Cup. If he does well, you could see Rahul with the youngster opening the batting. Sharma out 3 and Virat Kohli out 4. Munish Pandey, he's coming in at 6 at the moment and he's doing a fantastic job. He's going out finding the boundaries from ball 1. He's doing that cameo performance out the end which India need desperately. So their batting is looking stronger. Iyer, I like the look of him, but just his hands are a little too low. On that extra bounce over in Australia, he might get caught out, wrapped on the knuckles. He's got to adjust and have higher hands if he wants to dominate in that World Cup in Australian conditions. That's probably the only weakness there in the batting, but other than that, India looking good. But it was such a dominant performance down there in India. How good was it? Let's put it in perspective. 7.5 hour time difference between India and New Zealand. They've just come off playing Australia in a one-day international series. They left on the 20th and they played on the 24th. So they generally say if you're going into a different time zone, it takes a day to adjust per hour to that time zone. So by the 29th, India was starting to come to acclimatise to New Zealand conditions. But from experience, travelling from Perth to Sydney and Melbourne, where it's 2-hour difference, if it's daylight saving, sometimes 3-hour difference, on that third day, yes, you're acclimatised to the conditions, but you're still feeling flat. So it didn't surprise me. Those games on the 29th and 31st, I think it was, India were a little flat, and that's where they allowed New Zealand to stay in the contest and they had to go to the super over. But New Zealand should have won those last 3 games. So great performance down there in New Zealand, the way they adjusted and acclimatised, their depth in their bowling, their depth in their batting, and the way that their athleticism is in the field. Sanju Samson, the catch and throwing it back in, saving a 6, just brilliance. India is growing in stature in the field as well. All departments are covered. They're the ones that are going to travel Australia on their home soil in that T20 World Cup later on in the year. They're looking good. But anyway, if you like what I'm doing, just get on this button, push it. That'll give you a notification of when the next video is coming out. There's a little bit of history over here. If you want to watch it, go and watch it. There's some good stuff there. So you guys have a good day. Enjoy the cricket. Enjoy the time off, and I think India are looking good for the one-day series and test series down there in New Zealand. Anyway, I'll see you for another Hoggs vlog later this week.